Hi everyone, it's me again. I'm doing a video today because yesterday I went to go and see a friend in Manchester. It was mainly meant to be just a visit to see him and finish off a few bits of Christmas shopping. But as it turned out, I ended up staying the night and going to the very first preview of Singing in the Rain UK tour at Manchester Opera House. I've never been to the Opera House before. I've been to the Palace Theatre quite a few times now for different shows, but this was the first time I've been to the Opera House, and I was very excited because it was the first night of the UK tour. Set-wise and stuff, it is exactly the same as London. Set-wise, it is exactly the same. And being a first night, there were a couple of things I picked up on. Like, there was a guy who was putting in the street lamp before the title song. He was having trouble getting it in, and I was really hoping that the guy playing Don Lockwood wouldn't accidentally fall off. And also in the plane, in Beautiful Girls, it's supposed to come forward to the front of the stage, and it didn't. It just sort of stuck back there, and you could see all these people trying to push it forward, and it clearly wasn't going to go. So they sort of pulled it back, and the girls had to get down off the plane and then sort of dance at the front. And the guy playing the tenor sounded really out of tune to begin with as well, bless him. I know it's like a first night and he was probably really nervous. Kim Strawman played the production tenor, and he sounded a bit off key at first, but once he got into the song he was really good. So yeah, anyone who is going to see this thinking it's not going to be like London, it is exactly like the London tour, like the London set basically, so you won't be disappointed. Cast wise, we had James Leese, he plays Don Lockwood. I wasn't too impressed with him. I don't know whether that's because I'm just like a total fan of the original London cast who I saw like 4 or 5 times, but I didn't think he had the charisma or the arrogance / confidence that Don is supposed to have. He was quite a young Don Lockwood. But I did like his dancing and his singing in the Broadway melody song in Act 2. What's that? Yeah, Broadway Ballet. That's the name of the song anyway. I really liked him in that. Amy Ellen Richardson, I love her as Kathy Selden. She's so different to Scarlett, who I saw most times as Kathy, though I did see Sherry on the last night of the original cast change night. But yeah, totally different side to her Kathy. Absolutely loved her humour and her warmth to the role. She was just really, really good, and I loved her Lucky Star version of Lucky Star. It was really, really nice. Stefan and Nellie, I didn't get to see him in London. He played Cosmo after Daniel Crossley left, and he was funny. I did like him for the most part, but there were a couple of things I thought he was just playing it too much for the laughs. I don't know, it's just very different to the way Daniel played it. Maxwell Caulfield as RF, he was really good. I liked him as RF. I liked how he's trying to keep control of his studio and Lena just comes waltzing in, and yeah. And speaking of Lena, we have Faye Tozer, who is known for being in the band Steps a few years ago. She's playing Lena. She was okay, but I think for the role of Lena you need to go all out and be like really big and crazy and wild, and Faye just lacked a little bit of something. I think she may get better as she develops into the role, but she seemed a bit reserved, and I think with Lena you can't be like that. Her accent is good, but some of the time you think, well, actually that's not too bad, that's not so annoying. And whereas Catherine Kingsley, when I saw her in London, she was absolutely fantastic, because you could barely make out a word she sang or said, so that was annoying. And Yeah, Faye was alright, but Jacqueline Clarke as Dora Bailey and Miss Dinsmore, she's funny. I've seen her before as Mary Lazarus in the Sister Act UK tour, and in London, really liked her. Paul Grunnett as Roscoe Dexter, he's really good. He's a lot older than the last guy, I think, and he plays it differently. All the cast are really good. Like, there's so much energy between them because it was their first night and things. They all worked really well together. The dancing was great. I know a few of them from things I've seen in London, like Matthew Malthouse. It says under his thing, he's ensemble / policeman. It says at some performances Matthew will play the role of Don Lockwood. Now I've seen Matthew in Singing in the Rain before, and I've also seen him in Matilda, where I got to see him as the escapologist. So it was nice to see him on stage again. There's also Lauren Hall, who I've seen as Francine in Jersey Boys. She's in this. Sorry, I'm getting a really bad cold. Joshua Lovell, he's been in Joseph in Dubai, which I haven't seen, but I've seen him in something. What have I seen him in? Soho Cinders, no. I don't know, the name rings a bell, but apparently the contestants haven't seen him in anything. And there's Soeli Parry, who was in Wicked. I can't remember which cast now, but she was definitely in it. And I got to see her quite a few times. But yeah, it's all a really good cast. There were just a few bits and pieces that obviously still need to come together with practice, because obviously it was their first night. So being fair to them, I think that as I guess they will grow and develop and become better in their roles. I would possibly see this again in Sunderland, but I would maybe try and get a cheaper seat. And another thing as well, in London they always used to warn you that the first rows would get wet when they're Singing in the Rain, but from what I saw in Manchester, if they keep it how it is in Manchester at the Opera House, there's no chance of the audience getting whatsoever, because like the stage is here and then the audience are here, if you see what I mean. Hang on, there. So like the audience is perfectly dry. There was like no chance of any of them getting wet at all, which was a bit disappointing, because I was looking forward to hearing the screams, because I was up in the circle, so I was quite looking forward to hearing the screams of people who had no idea that they would be about to get wet and they didn't. But I don't know, maybe that's just the Opera House. Maybe in different venues they're going to have, you know, the audience a bit nearer and people will get wet. So yeah, I may see this again in Sunderland and when it's there, and see if the cast have gelled a bit better. I would also be interested in seeing it again when Vicky Binns joins and takes on the role of Lena, and see what her Lena is like compared to Faye's, because I'm a theatre geek. But yeah, well worth going to see. It's still a fantastic production, and yeah, go and see it because it's totally worth it. It really is. It's such a good show. Like, so many songs stuck in my head. Lucky Star, You Were Meant for Me, Make 'Em Laugh. Oh, that was funny. Yeah, Good Morning. That was really good as well. Yeah, just go and enjoy it and go and see it because it's absolutely fantastic.